11th standard English. Now we are going to learn about prepositions. First, the important prepositions we have to learn. First, what is the preposition first? A preposition is a word or a phrase that is used to show the relationship between a noun and another. Before the noun or pronoun we can use the preposition. So here definitions. Preposition are words that we use before nouns or pronouns to show the relationship with other words in a sentence. So two examples here. I am sitting on a chair. Chair is a noun. So before the noun, what we have used here? Preposition on. I am walking to her. So before the pronoun, we have used one preposition to. Okay, just here one by one. Just let us see that since or for the differentiate. First one. Since for an action continuing from the past to the present time. Since for an action continuing from the past to the present time. For example, Yuan has been playing badminton. He has been playing badminton well since 2015 or 2016, 15. Okay, so he has been playing badminton well since 2014 or 15. Still now he is playing well. So that is a since preposition. And same level here for. So for and since differentiate we should know about it. The total duration of an action existence from the past to the present time. For example, he has been playing badminton for the past 4 years. So actually completed the action. The since still now he is doing the work. He is not stopped. But for that completed the action, the past life. So that we can use for. For example, he has been playing badminton for the past 4 years. For the past 5 years we can use. Next, above and over differentiate. Above when one thing is not directly over the other. For example, my brother lived in the mountains above the lake. My brother lived in the mountains above the lake. What is the definition here? When one thing is not directly over the other. Okay, over. How will you identify that over? The preposition for horizontal movement at a higher level. I saw a helicopter fly over a lake. I saw a helicopter fly over a lake. For horizontal moving. So over, if you want to use that moving things, we can use that over. Next, below and under differentiate. So first we should know about the differentiate. That's confused the preposition. That's why I'm telling to you here. Below is the opposite of above. Her head was below the level of the table, so nobody noticed her. Under is the opposite of over for horizontal movement at a lower level. So under is a lower level. For example, a child places his toys under a blanket. A boy ran under the bridge when the river was dry. So differentiate under. Okay, the child places his toys under a blanket, under a bench, under a table. The child places his toys under a table. You can use. Next, along and through. For example, definition. Along, how will you use? For following a line of specific movement. A man walked along the side of the river. So that is a specific movement particular. We can use that along. A man walked along the side of the river. He walked along the road. Next, through. For movement in 3-dimensional space from one side to other. So that is a moving through. For example, hunters walked through the forest. Between and among. The differentiate. Between used for two nouns adverbials when something is in the middle of two things. There was amity between Jesse Owens and Les Long in the Berlin Olympics. There was amity between Jesse Owens and Les Long in the Berlin Olympics. So the two Used for two nouns, we can use the between. Among, used for more than two nouns. So nouns, two nouns, if you want to use, we can use between. More than two nouns, you have to use among. When something is the middle of many things, there was a healthy discussion about communal harmony among Ramesh, Abdul and John. So okay, more than two nouns, if you want to refer, you can use among. So that's a plural also we can refer. So that is among. Between, only two things are two person, human beings, we can use. Next, before and after. Before, how will you identify, how will you make this preposition? Used for the second action in a phrase is when we mention two action. Before eating food, we clean our hands. Used for the second action in a phrase when we mention two action. Before eating food, we clean. So two action, so we can use before. After, used for the first action in a phrase when we mention two actions. Here also two action. After eating food, children love playing. So two action here. So before and after, the differentiate. So okay, these are important prepositions. Okay, we have learned. Okay, next, preposition of location are used to indicate the location or position of object. For example, on, in, under, in front of, among, between. So these are preposition of locations here in use. Against. Against means next to or touching on object surface for support. For example, the boy is leaning against the wall. I am leaning against the whiteboard. So that against, which means next to or touching on object surface for supporting. Against the wall, against the whiteboard. Don't lean against the wall, it's just been. Don't lean against the wall. Okay, between, just now we have learned on between. How will you use the between? The preposition here used for two nouns or adverbials when something in the middle of two things. So we can use beside. Prepositions of direction are used to show direction of movement to and from a fixed point. For example, to, from, into, along, over, through, across and around. So these are prepositions of direction. I am walking to school. Just a direction. I am walking to school. Where? School. So to is a correct preposition. Richard came into the room. So that's a movement. That direction. Richard came into the room. Into, used to show motion or movement. So that into, if you want to use the preposition, that's a movement. The cat jumped dash the box into the box. So that is a moving. The ball fell into the river. Movement. She poured some boiling water into the teapot. Movement. They walked along the row of houses. They walked along the row of houses. Okay, along, for following a line of specific movement. The specific particular movement. If you are refer, you can use along. The boys ran across. The boys ran across the road. Across means on the opposite side. For example, the boy swam across the pond. Siti is walking across the road. So it's opposite side. Just we can refer. They are running around the tree. They are running around the tree. Around means moving in a circle. For example, the cat ran around the stool chasing the mouse. Tim jumped over the fence. Over, for horizontal movement at a higher level. That is a higher level of jumping, movement. Tim jumped over the fence. I saw a helicopter fly over a lake. Just higher level. So we can use over. For example, the boy jumped over the fence. The cat leaps over the train. The bird flew in through the window. So through, how do you use the preposition? The bird flew in through. Okay, through how do you make for movement in the three-dimensional space from one side to other, just a moving this also. Okay, the bird flew in through the window. For example, Ali kicked the ball through the window. Amir threw the rubbish through the window. Preposition of time are used to shows when things happen. For example, by, for, before, after, since, at, and during. So these are preposition of time. Okay, thank